Do you feel the vibes?
So, hello grade 11. So, this is a continuation of our lesson number 2, which is about the parabola. So, once again, visiting our objectives. So, in this lesson, you are expected to first define parabola, illustrate parabola, solve equations involving parabola, determine the equation of the different kinds of conic sections, graph a parabola, given an equation in vertex form, and solve real-life or situational problems involving conic sections. So last time, I already introduced to you what parabola is. So this time, we will be moving with another topic, okay? So under parabola pa rin po siya. So we have here now the guidelines and equations to remember about parabola. So for our standard equation, we have x minus h quantity squared is equal to 4a multiplied by quantity y minus k. On the other hand, pag yung si y naman, yung given, so we have y minus k quantity squared is equal to 4a multiplied by quantity x minus h. For the general equation, I already provided you this in my last video discussion. So we have x squared plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0 if the given is in x, okay? And if in y, we have y squared plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0. Don't be confused by the d, e, f because they represents constant, okay? So for our focus naman, since I already discussed to you the parts of a parabola, okay? So for our focus, f is that saan siya magagraph, okay? So we have the value of h, of course, and the other is k plus p. And for another one, okay, we have h plus p or k. That is for our focus. Now, for the endpoints of our latus rectum, we have, of course, the L is equal to first term is, or the first one is h plus and minus 2a, then the other is k plus a. And for the other is that h plus a yung isa and k plus or minus 2a. For our directrix, we have y is equal to k minus a. And for x is equal to h minus a. Another thing is there is a key concepts to remember in plotting or graphing a parabola. So we have the principal axis and the concavity of this, okay? So for the principal axis, x is equal to h, that is in vertical, then y is equal to k is in horizontal. So the concavity on other hand is that a is greater than 0. If yun ang titiman nyo yung value ng a. If a is greater than 0, that's upward. If a is less than 0, that is downward. And if a, on the other hand, if a is greater than 0, pwede siyang rightward, and a is less than 0, that is leftward. And lastly is for the length of our latus rectum. So both of them, we have the absolute value of 4p. Okay, so for our example, we have here y minus 2 quantity squared is equal to negative 24x minus 48. So, if the exponent is on the y, ito siya yung given natin kasi y minus 2, di ba? Meaning, the axis of symmetry is horizontal and the parabola opens it either in right or left. Okay? So, another thing to remember is that if the exponent is on the x, okay, yung exponent kasi natin anak dito is that nandito siya sa may y minus 2 quantity squared, ayun siya, di ba? So if the exponent is on the x, meaning ang axis of symmetry naman daw is vertical, so the parabola opens upward or downward. So for our number 1 example, since the exponent is in y, this is horizontal. Ang titignan nyo na lang is kung right or left po ba siya. Paano yon? You will learn that throughout our lesson. Step by step tayo, okay? Huwag masyadong excited, okay? So, for number 2, ito siya. Diba? Kung papansin niyo, we have x plus 3 quantity squared is equal to negative 8y plus 16. So, yung isa naman daw ay x squared plus yung number 3, x squared plus 18x minus 8y plus 81 is equal to 0. So, pareho sila na ang exponent nila na 2 is nasa x. That's why, eto naman siya. Pa-vertical siya. So, titingnan lang natin kung ano yung magiging parang palobo style ni parabola, kung saang part siya, okay? So, now, for number 4, ganun pa rin, pa-vertical naman siya, kasi yung exponent ay nasa x. Yun lang yun, okay? But, actually, tuturo ko naman sa inyo to kung paano yung pag-graph for our next lessons. Okay, pinakita ko lang siya today sa inyo. So, now, let's move with the standard and general forms of the equation of a parabola with a vertical axis of symmetry. So, the standard form of the equation of a parabola with a vertical axis of symmetry is y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, in which where a, b, and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. Remember the standard form of the equation, okay? In vertical axis daw po ito. Now, kapag naman po sa vertical form of the equation or sa vertex form of the equation of a parabola with the vertex at h and k and a vertical axis of symmetry is y is equal to a multiplied by x minus h quantity squared plus k, in which a is not equal to 0. So, the axis of symmetry in this case is determined by x is equal to h. Okay? So, let's talk about horizontal axis naman po of symmetry. So, the standard and general forms of the equation of a parabola with a horizontal axis of symmetry is given by x is equal to a y squared plus by plus c. Baliktad lang doon sa kanina, of course, where b and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. So, other than that, baliktad lang natin kanina given, yung vertex form naman daw in the horizontal axis of symmetry is given by x is equal to a multiplied by y minus k quantity squared plus h, where a is not equal to 0. Okay? Okay, I know na medyo kapag wordings tayo, most of the time hindi agad naintindihan. That's why we are providing here examples for you. So, how we transform the standard form of the equation of a parabola to the vertex form and vice versa. Okay, so for number 1, we need to write the following equations of a parabola in the standard or the vertex form. So, we need first to determine the vertex and the axis of symmetry of each parabola. So, for letter A, we have here y is equal to 2 multiplied by x plus 2 quantity squared minus 3. Next is y is equal to x squared plus 8x plus 17. And lastly, we have y is equal to negative 2x squared minus 12x plus 26. So for our solution, starting with letter A, we have here y is equal to 2 multiplied by x plus 2 quantity squared minus 3. So the first thing is that you factored out x plus 2 quantity squared. It can be using the FOIL method or the shortcut method that I taught you last time. So first is square the first term, that is x times x, we have x squared. Next is to multiply the both terms, then multiply the product should be multiplied by 2. So we have x plus 2 is 2x multiplied by 2, we have 4x. And lastly is to square the last term, that is 2 times 2, we have 4. That's why from x plus 2 quantity squared, we have now x squared plus 4x plus 4. Ayan siya, okay? Remember, pwede ka kay FOIL method. Now, the second way is that for you to use the distributive property. So, 2 multiplied by x squared, that is 2x squared. 2 multiplied by 4x, that is 8x. And 2 multiplied by 4, that is 8. Then, minus 3. So, we have here, just solve the last part in which 8 should be, or 8 minus 3 kasi siya. So, we have 2x squared plus 8x plus 5. So, ayun na siya. The standard form of the equation y, ito given natin, y is equal to 2 multiplied by x plus 2, quantity squared minus 3 is y is equal to 2x squared plus 8x plus 5. Okay, yung vertex natin daw ng parabola is in negative 2 and negative 3. And the axis of symmetry is negative 2. Paano natin nakuha po yun? Ito siya, oh. Diba sabi, titingnan nyo lang po dito. Kaya nga binigay ko sa inyo kanina yung ating general guidelines. Doon yung siya titingnan. Okay, ang vertex natin, ito siya. Yung value ni h at ni k. Okay? Diba pag plus 2 yan, meaning to say that it's negative 2. Kasi meron tayong standard equation dyan. Next is, ayun na, si minus 3, kaya negative 3 nakalagay dito. Next is si axis of symmetry. Remember, sabi natin, x is equal to h. Kung ano ang value ni h, yun din ang magiging value ni x dito. That's why, ang axis of symmetry natin is negative 2. Okay? So, okay, let's have letter B. So, for letter B, we have y is equal to x squared plus 8y plus 17. So, for our solution is that for you to write the equation in the vertex form, applying the process of completing the square. Okay? The completing the square process is usually natutunan to during your grade 9 in mathematics 9, of course. So, we have here y is equal to quantity x squared plus 8x plus 17. So, step 1 is for us to group the variables. Kaya ginrupo natin siya. Next is to get the square of half the coefficient of the x term. Add the result to the binomial. Also, subtract the result from the constant term to maintain the equation and then simplify. So, diba ang turo ko sa inyo noon? Last time, para makuha natin si last term, we have 8, the constant in the middle term. So, 8 divided by 2, that is 4. And 4 times 4 or 4 squared is equal to 16. So, we have here plus 16, then minus 16 on the other part. Okay? So, paano yon? Kasi we need to maintain it na maging 1 siya. So, we have here y is equal to x plus 4 quantity squared plus 1. So, for our step number 3, yun nga siya, we need to factor the trinomial and express it as a square of a binomial. So, for our answer now, of course, yung vertex form daw natin is, ito na, y is equal to x plus 4 quantity squared plus 1. Okay po? And the vertex is at negative 4 plus positive 1. Ayun siya. Titingnan mo yon. And then, yung value ng ating axis ng symmetry, axis of symmetry, is x is equal to h. And since our h is negative 4, so negative 4 po si axis of symmetry. Okay, another for letter C, we have y is equal to negative 2x squared minus 12x plus 26. So for our solution, once again, let us apply the process of completing the square. Una, ginroup natin yung mga variable terms natin. And then we factored out negative 2 from the variable terms because negative 2 and negative 12 are both divisible by 2 or the GCF. Okay, their GCF is negative 2. So next is, ito na siya. Okay, get the square of half the coefficient of the x term. So, add the result to the binomial. Also, multiply the result by negative 2 and subtract it from the constant term to maintain the equation and then simplify. So, di ba kanina we have, ayun na siya. So, we have, yung 6 divide mo by 2, that is 3. 3 times 3, that is 9. Kaya nakuha si 9 dito. However, di ba, kailangan natin kasi siyang i-multiply dun sa negative 2. Huwag kakalimutan si negative 2. That's why si negative 2 multiplied by 9, that is negative 18. So, meron tayo sa kabila negative 18. So, minus yun. So, from negative 18, magiging plus siya. Okay, that's why when you add the constant term or the last part na, ito na siya. Factor the trinomial and express it as a square of a binomial. So, we have y is equal to negative 2 multiplied by x plus 3 quantity squared plus 44 po siya. So, for our answer, ito na siya. Ang kanyang vertex form is in a form y is equal to negative 2 multiplied by x plus 3 quantity squared plus 44. Now, paano malalaman si vertex? Ayun na po. Tingnan lang natin si h and k. So, we have negative 3 and 44. Huwag kayong mako-confuse dun kasi naituro ko na siya last time sa inyo. Okay? Dun sa kauna-unan, even dun sa circle. Diba yung form natin? So, yung axis of symmetry naman, of course, kung ano yung value ni h, that is negative 3. So, the axis of symmetry is x is equal to negative 3. Okay, so, try this. Write the following equations of a parabola in the standard form, then determine the vertex and the axis of symmetry. So, of course, do not forget to show your solution and then circle your final answer. And for letter B is for you to transform the following to the vertex form of the equation of a parabola. Do not forget na, lagi ko kayong tinatanong, of course, how do you get this answer? Make sure that you can explain your work. Syempre naman po, okay? So, thank you for today. And hopefully you learn something new from me once again. So, thank you and God bless.